We need to talk about Drake, and we need to talk about him with a level of respect that most people are too biased to show right now. I don't care about the memes, I don't care about the internet beef. I care about the math. I care about the architecture of a career that just broke the music industry's spine. I will say allegedly because there's no clear confirmation about the details I will talk about today. While the world was counting him out, Drake was sitting on a $400 million net worth playing the long game. What we just saw, the surprise drop of Iceman, Habibti, and Maid of Honour, isn't just music, it's a 43-track resignation letter to the old guard. Drake didn't just drop 3 albums. He potentially dropped a tactical nuke on his contract with UMG. If it's true, he used volume to buy his absolute freedom, and it might have worked. In his new track Janice STFU, Drake drops a line that should make every critic pause. He's making at least $250K a week. Think about that math. That's $13 million a year in passive consistent cash flow, while the world is arguing about who won a rap battle. While his opponents are focused on lyrics, Drake is focused on liquidity. That is the architect mindset. And don't worry, I will talk about it in my next video. But what you need to understand is when your base income is $250,000 every 7 days, you don't react to noise, you create the weather. This level of financial insulation is what allowed him to stay silent, stay patient, and wait for the perfect moment to strike. Now let's look at the psychological warfare on the other side. On Monday, May 11th, just 4 days before Drake's Iceman rollout, Kendrick Lamar's team temporarily removed the Not Like Us music video from YouTube, briefly resetting its 400 million view count to 0 before the original video and its stats were fully reinstated. At the same moment, his Gen X album briefly vanished from Apple Music. While social media scrambled with conspiracy theories, his team issued no official statement. The backend reality was simple, a routine licensing and content ID metadata update. They were shifting publishing attributions from Interscope Records to his own company, PG Lang, a technical shift that also temporarily disrupted his music video for Luther featuring SZA at the exact same hour due to distribution sync errors. And of course, some industry observers viewed the timing as a deliberate attempt to hijack the media circle right before Drake's drop. But even if it was a calculated distraction, it couldn't change the underlying math. Before Drake's 3 albums even touched the servers, the data was already absolute. Drake was leading Spotify streams by a landslide, effectively outperforming Kendrick and J. Cole combined. Today, Drake is at number 2 in the world, while Kendrick is at number 21. That isn't a rivalry, that's a hierarchy. Drake didn't need to win a rap battle, he already won the war of consumption. Here's why I have an immense respect for this move. Most artists are slaves to their labels. They sign a 360 deal and spend their lives trying to pay it back. If you don't know how the music business works, a 360 deal is the ultimate financial trap. It means the record label doesn't just take a percentage of your music and sales and streams, they take a cut of everything you touch. They take a percentage of your touring revenue, your merchandise sales, your endorsement deals, your publishing rights, and your acting gigs. Basically, it is a full 360-degree circle of control. The label hands the artist a massive advance up front, making them look rich to the public, while the label owns the underlying architecture of their entire career. Sadly, the artist spends their life trying to pay back a debt they can never clear. But Drake played the system. He used UMG for their global distribution infrastructure, built a $400 million empire on his own terms, and then waited for the exact moment of peak industry pressure to dump 43 songs. Why 43? Because that was possibly the precise number of tracks needed to fulfill the remaining data quota of his contract. In a single night, he wiped his slate clean, if it's the case. So he's very likely a free agent, and that means completely independent. He owns the masters, he owns the publishing. He could be the very first rapper to truly become an independent institution. And if it's the case, Kendrick tried to kill the king just bought the kingdom and fight the guards. If you watched live, you saw the Toronto fireworks. They weren't just for the fans, they were possibly a victory lap for a man who just completed the greatest glitch in music history. Drake combined quality and volume with the patience of a sniper. He proved that once you have the numbers, you don't need to argue, you just need to execute. This might be the prestige move of the decade. And if it's true, Drake just gave us the ultimate masterclass in the exit strategy. So don't work hard, work smart, become the elite. I'll see you on the next one.